Buenas noches a todos y
Good
bienvenidos
evening,
a esta
everybody, and welcome to the France 24 interview. Today we have a very special guest, the Colombian cyclist Egan Bernal, the winner of the Tour de France 2019, the first Latin American to have won this race.
Buenas noches,
Good evening.
Egan.
Good evening, thank you. Yes, I'm feeling very well, thank you.
Decía, cuando ganó el
After
Tour,
your
decía,
victory in Paris, you were saying that you were astonished at having won the Tour de France. Now, you're back in Colombia, 10 days after your exploit. Do you realize what you have accomplished?
Yes, this came gradually, actually, after the tour. We had criteriums in various races. We traveled quite a lot, and we didn't have much time to do much. And I got home 2 days ago. I'm a little chilled out. And that's why, when you start unpacking, and the yellow jersey, and the line, and the various awards, and then gradually I started to realize how important this all was. And all those people that present in the square, this was quite impressive. So I gradually kind of wake up from that dream.
We're in Zipaquira, a very special place, the Salt Cathedral. For our viewers across the world who don't know this place, it's a church that was built in salt mines. You wanted to celebrate your return to Zipaquira, the town where you grew up, and not in Bogota, the capital city, unexpectedly. Why was this so important for you to celebrate this victory here in Zipaquira?
This is my hometown. This is where I live. This is where I grew up. I am from Zipaquira. And to tell you the truth, when I was told or asked where I wanted to celebrate this, I said I'd rather do it in Zipaquira. This is very close to Bogota. And the square is beautiful. It's very easy to organize and share this with the people I grew up with because, there were quite a number of people I knew there. And this was a special event.
Was it very important for you to celebrate your victory here first, to return to Zipaquira here, where you started your cyclist career? We met Fabio Rodriguez, who was your trainer when you were a child.
Yes, of course. When I thought of giving the yellow jersey to Colombia and the Federation, I said that this had to be done there in Zipaquira. And Zipaquira has a lot of history in terms of cycling. The first champion in the first Colombia Tour was born here in Zipaquira. Zipaquira was his name, and it made sense.
Since your victory, you have received lots of messages of congratulations from the public, from foreign cyclists, from Colombian sportsmen, and even from politicians. What messages touched you the most that you remember and make you happy?
In the last few days, the social networks were filled with messages and very nice texts. People were writing on me, and if I were to pick out one of those, I would pick out the words expressed by my family, my father, my mother, my brother, my fiancé. Those are very present things, and they're very nice. And when I feel that they are proud of me and proud of all my achievements.
10 days after your victory, what view do you have of your career, this tour, your triumph? What have been the highlights of your triumph?
Being very patient, being able to chill out and be patient and not be overwhelmed by emotions, but be very analytical and factual, really be able to identify those various events, who's the strongest, who's the weakest, who's actually overdoing it, who's not so strong, and not be overwhelmed by emotions. Okay, I want to attack right away. In other words, being anxious may happen at times. There's a climb and you want to do it right away, attack right away. So I believe that this was a highlight, be able to chill out and be patient. And the team helps me out throughout the race.
esas etapas de montaña.
The mountain stages, which are part of your natural environment, were at 2,650 meters of altitude, were key. The high mountains, the Alps in particular. What memories do you have of those mountain stages in the mountains?
Esas etapas de montaña.
Bueno, pensaba
I was
como si estuviera entrenando acá en Zipaquira.
actually
Las etapas
feeling I was like in Zipaquira, training there, such as in the Galibier and Iseron passes were very long and high climbs. So this is as if I was like training in Zipaquira and climbing up Pacho, a 1-hour climb. This was exactly the same thing. So this is the type of feeling I had and which I remember. This is what I had in mind when I was going through the various stages.
You say that you felt more comfortable in the Alps than in the Pyrenees. Why?
Bueno, no sé. La verdad que
I don't know.
Los Pirineos no
In the
tuve las mejores
Pyrenees,
sensaciones.
I didn't have the best
Tampoco
feelings.
cedí mucho tiempo,
I lost time,
pero no tuve las mismas sensaciones.
but I didn't have the same feelings as the one I had in the Alps.
Pero bueno, no sé. A
But
veces
I don't know.
pasa eso, ¿no? Al final
Sometimes those things may happen throughout the race. It's difficult to find the right feeling on the bike. And, this is a long tour. This is a very long tour. However, the decisive stages took place in the Alps. We thought we'd go through the Pyrenees without being over-fatigued. And in the Alps, each time we carry out an attack, it has to be a decisive one. It's just not a trial because, this is a decisive attack, and this is what we did, and it worked.
¿Cómo se hizo el, no sé si
How did this change of leadership take place within the Ineos team between you and Geraint Thomas, the holder of the title? 10 years ago, he was number one when the Tour started from Brussels. You were the co-leader. He was ahead of you during most of the Tour. How did this change take place? Did the team authorize you to attack?
dado la autorización para que ataca, por ejemplo?
Bueno, digamos que el cambio se hizo.
Well, this change actually occurred, to tell you the truth. Well, not before stage number 20,
Hasta que yo no cogiera la camiseta amarilla,
because until I got the yellow jersey, Geraint Thomas was leading the team, but strategically we'd say that one or the other could attack, but by still considering that Geraint Thomas was the leader.
Ellos tuvieron en mente en que si en cualquier momento
So at any time, Geraint Thomas could need me, so I had to stop and wait for him. But then when I got the yellow jersey, this change occurred. Roles changed within the team, and then I became the leader. But this happened in the next to the last stage.
¿Qué se acuerda de este momento, de
What
esas emociones?
do you
cuando
remember
gana
about that moment? What did you feel when you won that stage?
pero sobre todo toma
And especially when you won the yellow jersey, you were wearing the yellow jersey for the first time. It was a dream for all Colombians, especially in a mountain
además en
stage.
montaña.
Sí, solamente hay una primera
Yes,
vez, ¿no?
true.
Una primera vez que uno se viste por primera vez
You win the yellow jersey for the first time, and this only happens once. So when I got the yellow jersey, I just couldn't believe my eyes. I was saying to myself, I will fight to the death just to really keep this yellow jersey. And from that point on, I said to myself that I could perhaps win the Tour. And then the interview took place, and I wanted to cry, and I didn't even know why. I'm not that type of person crying easily, but this was a dream. And
Y estos sentimientos vienen
those feelings got stronger and stronger because this was not just my dream, because my family was there and my country was involved. So when people ask me, well, I answer them. I really get to realize all this, and then I start crying. This was a very special moment.
Hablamos de los corredores.
Let's talk about the French cyclists, your rivals. What do you think of Julien Alaphilippe, who fought very hard all the way to the end to keep his yellow jersey?
Yo creo que le le dio mucha emoción al Tour de Francia.
I think he produced a lot of emotions throughout the tour, and people identified themselves with him because
Les gustaba la forma de correr, ¿no? Que entregaba todo sobre la bicicleta.
he was really giving it all in each one of the stages. He was traveling behind, and he would catch up, and he lost very little time in the mountain stages. People thought he was going to lose. No, he would actually come back and did not waste so much time with respect to the climbers. Until the end, he was beaten. But this produced very strong emotions throughout the tour. And this took place in France. Having a French person with a yellow jersey was very good for the race. And this was a very nice tour for the viewers.
And
Thibaut Pinot, your toughest rival, but who was wounded, which was very disappointing for French people. Do you have a message for him after his participation?
He was incredible. During the tour, he attacked from the first week on and tried to find opportunities until he got injured. And he was the strongest until then. He was the greatest, the strongest climber. And then the Pyrenees stage, the last one, I think, before the break took place, I was behind him, and I was just having a hard time. He was really stronger. And in the end, what happened. He got injured. But to tell you the truth, he showed that he was always present and that he was going to fight to the end. And we don't know, we can't imagine what the outcome would have been, but he was in great physical shape and really provided a lot of emotions, especially to the French people.
A last question. How will the end of the season and 2020 carry out? What are your objectives for the end of this year and next year?
Get ready for the short one-day races in Italy with a Lombardy in the end, and I would like to finish up with a good level this year and next year. I don't know. We'll just have to have a look at the various races, the Giro, the Tour, and then start analyzing and what I'd be most interested in, the Giro or get back to the Tour. We'll just have to really think about it later, but I want to chill out and share things with my family and then see what happens.
Thank you very much, Egan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching the program. Stay on France 24 and France24.com.